Hello, then. Thank you for staying with us right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachikowani. Here are the top stories. Court issues fresh order in Obasa's suit against Lagos Assembly adjourned trial. We also have the Lagos Assembly lawmakers storming the court over speakership tussle. Now, Fubara in trouble as Supreme Court stops River State allegation, orders CBN for immediate action. EFCC arraigned Theodore Orji and others. Now, federal government facilitated Obasa's return, source consider it impeachment illegal. And electricity blackout hits Abuja as Aso Villa also gets affected. Details now. The news begins right now. Sitting in Ikeja today, directed that all members of the Lagos State House of Assembly be joined as parties in the suit filed by impeached Speaker Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. VP News gathered that Justice Yetunde Pinheiro also adjourned till March 7 to hear all pending applications in the matter. You'll recall that Obasa was impeached on January 13, 2025 and subsequently filed a lawsuit at the Lagos State High Court on February 14, 2025, contesting the legality of his ousting. The suit, which lists the current Speaker, Mojisola Miranda, and the Lagos State House of Assembly as defendant, comes after multiple failed political negotiations between Lagos and Abuja aimed at resolving the leadership crisis. Despite President Bola Tinubu's alleged directive for Obasa's reinstatement, the Assembly remains divided, with lawmakers reportedly fearing possible retaliation should Obasa return to office. Obasa's legal challenge questions the validity of the plenary session that led to his impeachment, arguing that it was unlawfully convened during recess without proper authorization. Now, still in the same development, 35 Lagos lawmakers have arrived at the Ikeja High Court for the hearing of the lawsuit filed by Mudashiru Obasa over the speakership tussle in the Lagos State House of Assembly. Obasa, who was removed as Speaker while he was on his official trip to the United States, is currently challenging the legality of his impeachment, arguing that the process was unconstitutional. Obasa filed this lawsuit at the Lagos State High Court on February 14, seeking his immediate reinstatement as soon as possible. According to court documents, Obasa claims he was unlawfully removed from office on January 13, 2025. The suit lists the current Speaker, last part Mojisola Miranda, and the Lagos State House of Assembly as defendants. Obasa challenged the constitutionality of the plenary session that led to his impeachment, insisting that it was unlawfully convened during the Assembly's recess without authorization from the proper constitutional proceedings. He argues that the session violated Section 3690, subsection 2C, 101 and 311 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and breached the Lagos State House of Assembly rules and standing orders, specifically Order 5, Rule 18, subsection 2, and Order 2, Rule 9. Following Obasa's removal, the lawmakers had elected Mojisola Miranda as the new Speaker of the Assembly. Well, Obasa has continued to challenge her legitimacy. However, just yesterday, Obasa dramatically returned to the Assembly chambers, claiming he had resumed his position as Speaker despite his impeachment. Well, as it stands at the moment, the case is currently being presided over by Honorable Justice Y.R. Pinheiro. And still on court proceedings, the Supreme Court had ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria to stop the release of funds to River State government forthwith until a proper House of Assembly is constituted. The court also ordered Martin Amawule for Obasa to have returned to the court yesterday. In fact, she says, I think to me that was just a show of shame because in our job, we have numbers that form quorum. She said of Obasa's action at the assembly earlier, and that if you are sitting with 3 or 4 members, you are only doing a theater act. So the question is this, rightly he has gone to the court, agreed. Is he not supposed to have waited for the court judgment? He shouldn't have waited for a court order before he stormed the state assembly yesterday. And I saw his countenance and how he was reacting or responding to the questions from the journalists. He was confident in what he was saying and saying that he has done nothing wrong. And everyone is asking, what is the president going to say about this? Why is Aso Villa quiet? Should the president intervene in this matter? Is it his job to intervene in a state that is governed by someone else? Can the House of Assembly, Lagos State House of Assembly members comport and conduct themselves properly? Can you just explain to me why there was no court order to validate his return yesterday?
Like I told you earlier on, we are a country governed by laws. Under our constitution, for a house to convoke, it must form a quorum. And the quorum, according to our constitution, is 1/3 of the members of the House of Assembly. Hello? Are you with me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
And the 1/3 of the House of Assembly, if you do your mathematics, 4 members do not amount to 1/3 of 40-member House of Assembly. So whatever Honorable Obasa did yesterday, it was just catching fun and is allowed. But the truth of the matter is that the matter is in court. The court cannot give a pronouncement whether Obasa should come to the House of Assembly. As we speak, he's still a legitimate member of the House. What is quarreling with that has made me to possess a court is removal. Instead, his removal is unconstitutional. And it cannot be a judge in a state. Who won't be the one to decide that? That is another arm of government to decide. So, you are talking about Mr. President. I'm sure you know that Lagos State was created under the laws of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Lagos State was not created because of Mr. President. If Mr. President is intervening in Lagos State, then he can as well intervene in the other 35 states. But because we are all, even Mr. President is the product of the Constitution, the office he sits on today was sat on by some people yesterday, and it will still be by some people who come after him. It does not belong to Mr. President. Mr. President is just a custodian of our collective mandate. So Mr. President has no voice in this, but he has no voice to take a decision on this. This is a matter that has gone beyond the table. If Mr. Honorable Obasa and the members want Mr. President to decide, they won't go to court. They would have gone to Mr. President in Abuja to seek for their support. But because they are in dispute, and they know that under law, the only machinery that can give the ruling and it will become a law is judiciary. If Mr. President wants to make anything to become a law, it has to pass to the National Assembly. After the National Assembly must have passed it, then Mr. President assents. That is when it becomes law. But Mr. President is not a dictator. We are running a democracy, not a military government.
All right, Mr. Nelson Kujimi, I get you. I think the confusion here is this, or the clarification that is needed, for example, is the fact that according to what Obasa is saying that Miranda resigned at Marina along with some top executive APC members. And since she has resigned, he constitutionally has the audacity to resume at plenary. Secondly, if the court is adjourning the case till 7th of March to hear all pending matters concerning this, does it mean that Obasa will continue to be in charge as the Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker? Then the 37 lawmakers who stormed the court today concerning what transpired, they actually went to the court to disclose that for them, they see that this is unconstitutional and that Obasa ought not to resume because he has been rightfully impeached. So if this is the case, what happens between now and March when, the case is meant to be heard? Will Obasa continue to be the speaker till then? Will he only preside with 4 other Lagos State House of Assembly members since the others say they do not recognize him as a speaker?
Well, you and I know very well that right now under the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Speaker of the House of Assembly of Lagos State is Mrs. Honorable Mojisola Miranda. Mr. Obasa is not Mrs. Miranda's spokesperson for him to tell you that Honorable Miranda resigned. I watched the interview yesterday. He was being asked, and I don't think that question should be answered by Obasa because it doesn't work for Mrs. Miranda. He's a legislator like Mrs. Miranda. What is on ground today, as we speak, is that the Lagos State House of Assembly has a constituted leadership, and until the court decides otherwise, Mrs. Miranda remains of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Mr. Obasa's case, Honorable Obasa's case is in court, and we're all waiting to see where the first one will be. If the court pronounces him as the legitimate speaker that he was wrongly removed, then he can return to that seat. But so long as the court has not made that pronouncement, based on legislative proceedings, which we are all aware that he was removed and was received by Mrs. Miranda, by law, that is what still obtains. But if Mr. Obasa he wants to continue to parade himself as the speaker, it is now left for the members of the Lagos State House of Assembly to go and approach the court for an order restraining him. That is what is expected of them to do.
All right, Mr. Ikujimi, so apparently there are reports that the federal government facilitated the return of Mudashiru Obasa to the office as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday. And this particular source decided to remain anonymous. There's, according to this source, and that source is a top security official. He spoke under condition of anonymity. He informed Premium Times that the federal government had authorized the development. In fact, he says Obasa was not properly impeached as speaker, so his removal is illegal and that the government cannot support illegality. He said the members leveled criminal allegations against Obasa as on the grounds for his impeachment, but that they did not give him room to defend himself, and that Obasa had taken this case to court and that there had been no judicial pronouncement on the matter. The official said the government did not have to wait for the court to tell it to act on what it believes was a violation of the law. So the reason is this: we're having differences in perception to the issue. This top security personnel under anonymity to Premium Times is saying that the federal government, that is Abuja, or will I say Aso Rock Villa, authorized his coming back and that they don't need a court order for that. So Obasa's return, brazen return yesterday, taking over the state's National Assembly, wouldn't have been possible if he did not have any backing or support from somebody or somewhere. I don't know if you understand where I'm driving at.
I understand where you are driving at. You are running with the rumor mill.
No, it's not a rumor mill. This is from Premium Times here.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, Esther. You are speaking to me.
Okay.
My name is Nelson.
Yes, sir.
I'm not under anonymity.
Okay.
I'm not under anonymity, and I'm not told you to close my identity under anonymity. I wonder how, as a journalist, with statements or comments that have no face. That is not journalism. Journalism gives you very good facts.
So in other words, you're saying that this top security official is just saying whatnot because he released his statement on Premium Times. You're saying that he's basically just talking and it has no element of thought in it.
Yes, sir.
Sir?
How can you ascertain that the person you are speaking to is a security expert or is a member of the legislature, executive, or is anybody? How do you identify that? So please, I don't dwell on such rumors. I believe in constitutionalism. I'm a tissue scientist. And whatever I say is based on verifiable facts. I've told you what appears in our law. And if anybody wants to insinuate wrong with rumors, if you're right, I can't begrudge you. And I cannot control your thoughts. But the fact remains that our democracy is governed by laws written in black and white in English. We have a document to that effect. And the documents stipulate how we should run, and not based on the sentiment. If the members of the House of Assembly have removed the former speaker, why did he bother to go to court? You should have done better for your security experts to start to the rumor. that there is somebody in the presidency what I mean. If you want to rely on women, but because he knows that the only legitimate authority that can return him to that seat, if he can do it, no matter the security part or security, the woman does it takes you to nothing. It takes you to nothing. It makes no meaning. People like us, we think the fact, and the fact is that who becomes the strong last of assembly is elected as member. I think the member can change the structure of that. Unless you can go and change that, and something you not do it and change that, it's because I'm not one who says that.
All right, Nelson, thank you very much. Like I said, it begs a lot to question because a couple of persons think that the attitude of Obasa yesterday was unlawful. Some other supporters believe that it was right and it was lawful. Others feel that Lagos is supposedly the epicenter, at least the supposed epicenter, should actually lead by example, and that what took place there yesterday was unconstitutional. Others consider it anarchy, a breakdown of law and order, and nobody knows who is playing the piper or who is playing the tune to who are the actors that are playing what is going on there. As it stands now, what I want to understand is this: if the court has adjourned this case to the 7th of March, who will preside over the plenary? Would it be Miranda or Obasa? As it stands, Obasa is claiming that Miranda has resigned, but she hasn't come out to tell us that. We've not seen any official document to state or disclose that she has officially resigned from that position. So if that is the case, are we saying that it is Obasa that will be presiding over plenary till March 7? And then will he be presiding with only 4 members till the court decides on March 7? How do you react to this?
Is determined by the member. And the 36 majority members have spoken. And the court has not made any pronouncement in that regard.
Yes.
So until the court moves otherwise, which is honorable Miranda remains the speaker. So anybody can go, anybody can engage in any action that it does not generate the law and order. After all, some people that are very catching fun. So it's allowed anybody telling you the speaker you are not that.
Mr. Nelson, the network is very poor. So let me call you back. I think I'll prefer to call you back. The disregard of the Constitution by anyone is not going to be respective. And in that particular order, the question that is being asked by all is, how do we work over from there? How do we react with this development from there? Because yesterday, the dramatic or the theatric that took place was worrisome. Nobody could really understand what it meant and why it actually happened. For example, Obasa coming to the house yesterday with no court order, with policemen, conscripted to him. Miranda's security details were stripped off her. Later, we heard that the security details had resumed. They had been brought back to her. And I mean, at the same time, when he barged into the house, when they took a break. So one begs the question, if indeed this is the truth, if this is how the situation is being perceived, then how would one consider the true reality of events at the Lagos State House of Assembly? And how do we try to make sense of the development there? That's a big question. Secondly, if we have something like this going on in Lagos, then are we going to say any form of plenary that is being held with just the 4 lawmakers, would we say it's unconstitutional? Miranda has not come out yet. She has just spoken about the shame of the attitude yesterday. So does it mean that anytime this man, Obasa, resumes at plenary, then that means the other 37 lawmakers will not be part of the process? Because right now the case is in court. What happens to the rules of engagement at the Lagos State House of Assembly afterwards? Can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, thank you very much. Network was very poor at the time. Please continue what you were saying.
What I'm telling you is that the Lagos State House of Assembly has an information department.
Okay.
And that even the legislative house has a spokesperson. And they are not ready to say today. As we speak now, everybody carrying on a legislative or purported investigation of Honorable Miranda is only taking a walk in the park. The only person that will announce the resignation of Mrs. Miranda is either the spokesperson of the House or Mrs. Miranda, who are Chief Press Secretary or the spokesperson. So these are people who are authorized to speak on our behalf if you want to. So whatever you hear outside of these forces, is just rumor. And rumor can fly as long as it wants.
All right, let's take a look at Rivers State, for example. There's a say right now, there's been a court order from the Supreme Court ordering the Central Bank of Nigeria to stop the release of funds to Rivers State government forthwith until a proper House of Assembly is constituted. The court also ordered Martin Amawule to resume sitting immediately with all elected members. So how do you react to this? This member said they had defected, and we thought that case was still in court. This case has gone to the Supreme Court. This is a Supreme Court order, meaning that there is no other appeal that can take place in this. How do you think the state governor would cope? That's one. Two, how is it going to work with persons whom he considered not to respect him and not to regard his authority? And do we think this is a way to create a political instability in Rivers State, this order coming from the Supreme Court?
Thank you very much. You and I said it earlier on this plan. And to convoke a sitting of the House of Assembly, you need 1/3 of the members.
Yes.
Governor Similaye Fubara cannot be a law unto himself. The fact that he sits on the seat as the governor of Rivers State is at the DS of the Constitution. The matter went to the High Court. It was dismissed. The Court of Appeal even accused him of executive rascality and told him to go and represent the budget to the properly constituted House of Assembly. But he continued to do things according to his own way. So the Supreme Court is well in order. The Supreme Court has only upheld what the Court of Appeal said. How can you present the budget to 3 members out of the House of about 30 members of plus?
But the lawmakers, they said they defected. They said they defected. They said they defected. I can hear you, sir.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
The section is what for Governor Fubara to determine. The legislature is different from the executive. It's an independent arm of government. It means Governor Fubara has gone to court. And the Court of Appeal has said there is no grounds to confirm the defection, that there is no basis, that their seat cannot be declared of the seat of a member of the House of Assembly or whatever seat. Should we be based on the wishes and purposes of an individual rather than what the law is? Absolutely not. We'll be running a state of anarchy. The court has said these things that were claimed to have defected, but we have no grounds to justify the claim of defection. That there's no evidence. We are still saying they defected. How do you defect? They are procedures for defection. Because you have not brought those evidences before they eat. And you say you don't represent except the 3 members that you believe are with you. You don't have to do it. The legal case out of Assembly is greater than Assembly of Governor Similaye Fubara. We have decided from later. So the Supreme Court judgment only goes further to affirm what is in our Constitution and not the wishes and purposes of any individual, a governor or whatever.
All right, Mr. Nelson and Kujimi, thank you so much. I really sincerely do appreciate you giving us your perception to these questions.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, and that's a wrap on the World News at 12 right here in Voice of the People, 92.3 FM. Matters will be coming up very shortly, precisely at 1:30 p.m. And we'll be looking more into this issue. There are questions that need responses. There are questions that need answers. What this stipulates and what this means. As of yesterday, the indigenes of Lagos State wrote a letter to the federal government saying that they need to be recognized, and most of the political positions in Lagos State, sensitive political positions in Lagos State, are being occupied by non-indigens. Now, the rabble-rousing situation that took place at the Lagos State House of Assembly is what is giving calls for indigenes of the state to say we are not properly represented in the state that we come from. We have other persons from other states in the southwest occupying supposed juicy positions, and there's no level playing field. And if you recall, the deputy speaker, who obviously was being the speaker after Obasa was impeached, is an indigene of Lagos State. So what does this mean? As it stands now, if Obasa is unconstitutionally occupying the seat at the Lagos State House of Assembly before the court gives its judgment on March 7, how will proceedings take place? That's a major questions a lot of persons are asking. How will proceedings take place in the state? For Rivers State, if now the Supreme Court has given its judgment by saying that the 37 lawmakers come back to the House and that the budget be presented to them, allocation should be stopped to the state until there is a proper recognition of the proposed or supposed defected lawmakers. What is going on with the law? Is the law being misinterpreted? Is the law being misunderstood? All these are viable questions that need proper responses to. On matters, we'll look into it elaborately. We'll have a proper concept to it. I'll be bringing in a legal practitioner who will tell us the implication of this, what is going on right now in Rivers and Lagos State. And if indeed this does not spell doom within our political landscape, especially for security reasons. All right, my name is Esther Wachuku. Thank you so much for listening. That's a wrap on the World News at 12.